परमाराध्यम गुरुपाद पद्म की जय। गौर प्रेमानंदे जय। श्री गुरु गौरांग गिरिधारी राधा वल्लभ जी की जय। रदरमन बिहारी रघुनाथ बिहारी रघुनैन बिहारी जी की जय। श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मदन मोहन जी की जय। रघु दामोदर श्याम सुंदर गोकुल नंद राधरमन जी की जय। कृष्ण बलराम महाराज की जय। नितिल प्रविष्ट विष्णुपाद स्तोत्र सत्य श्रीमद् भक्तिवेदांत नारायण गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। ओम विष्णुपाद परिव्राज कचर्य स्तोत्र सत्य श्रीमद् भक्ति वेदांत मधुसूदन गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। कृष्ण विष्णुपाद स्तोत्र सत्य श्रीमद् भक्ति प्रज्ञान केशव गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। कृष्ण विष्णुपाद स्तोत्र सत्य श्रीमद् भक्ति जीवन जनार्दन गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। कृष्ण विष्णुपाद स्तोत्र सत्य श्रीमद् भक्ति वेदांत वामन गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। कृष्ण विष्णुपाद स्तोत्र सत्य श्रीमद् भक्ति वेदांत त्रिविक्रम गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। कृष्ण विष्णुपाद स्तोत्र सत्य श्रीमद् भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी महाराज की जय। पृष्ठ विष्णुपाद श्रीमद् गोविंद महाराज की जय। नित्य पृष्ठ विष्णुपाद स्तोत्र सत्य श्रीमद् भक्ति प्रमोदपुरी गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। पृष्ठ विष्णुपाद स्तोत्र सत्य श्रीमद् भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी महाराज की जय। पृष्ठ विष्णुपाद श्रीमद् गोविंद महाराज की जय। नित्य पृष्ठ ओम विष्णुपाद स्तोत्र सत्य श्रीमद् भक्ति वैभवपुरी गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। पृष्ठ विष्णुपाद श्रीमद् भक्ति कमल गोविंद गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। पृष्ठ विष्णुपाद स्तोत्र सत्य श्रीमद् भक्ति राक्षसीधर गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। पृष्ठ विष्णुपाद स्तोत्र सत्य श्रीमद् भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर शिल प्रभुपाद की जय। परम भागवत शिल गुरु किशोरदास जी महाराज की जय। सत्यम गोस्वामी सच्चिदानंद शिल भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जय। वैष्णव सर्वभौम शिव जगन्नाथ दास जी महाराज की जय। श्री रूप सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल भट्ट दास रघुनाथ शिव गोस्वामी प्रभु की जय। स्वरूप दामोदर हरमनंद श्री गुरु परिषद वृंद की जय। नमचर शिव हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से को श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसरी श्री गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। नवदीप मंदो की जय। ब्रज मंदो की जय। क्षेत्र मंदो की जय। श्री चंद्रिक कुंज की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। समग्र गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। गुरवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकाय तदालय कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। पञ्चकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। आनन्दलीलमय विग्रहाय मुगदिव्यच विसुन्दराय तस्मै महाप्रेमरसप्रदाय चैतन्यचन्द्राय नमो नमस्ते। नित्यानन्द नमस्तुभ्यं प्रेमानन्दप्रदायिने कलोकल्मषनाशाय जन्मपतये नमः। अजनुलम्बितभुजो कनकवदातो सङ्कीर्तनाय पितरो कमलायताक्ष विश्वम्भरो द्विजवरो जुगधर्मपालो वन्दे जगत्प्रियकरो करुणावतारो। कनकजलाधगत्रो नीलशोणां जनेत्रो मृगमदवरबालो मालतिकुन्दमाला तरलतरुणवेशो नीलपीताम्बरेशो स्मरनिवृतनिकुञ्जे राधिका कृष्णचन्द्रो तवैवास्मि न जीवमे त्वया विना इति विज्ञाय राधे त्वं नयमं चिरनन्तिके। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदमयं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। गौरपश्यान्नत्मवृन्द श्रीलक्ष्मी विजयोत्सवं श्रुत्वा गोपीरसोल्लासं हृष्टप्रेम्णा ननर्तसाम्। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। First of all, my limited Dandavat pranams to Lotus feet of Shri Gurudev. Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupad Astotra Sata Shrimad Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. My dear Shiksha Gurudevas, all Rupanuga Gaudiya Guru Varga, the line of disciplic succession coming to Sri Rupa Goswami Pad, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Also, dear devotees and friends in the Kunja, here in Chandrika Kunj, in Groombridge. Hare Krishna. So also those who are watching us online or in recording, Dandavat Pranam, Hare Krishna. Today is a very special day. These days Ratha-yatra is going on in Jagannath Puri. And do you know Ratha-yatra? Okay, so can you bring Jagannath Baladeva Subhadra from my room, from the chimney, please? We'll show our guests. I forgot to take them. So Jagannath, Jagan means of the world, of the universe. Nath means the Lord. So Krishna is popularly known as the Lord of the universe, and therefore he is worshipped as such. But also he is worshipped in a very, very intimate way, in a very sweet, loving way, by the residents of Vrindavan. You know about Vrindavan, right? So Krishna was in Vrindavan 5,000 years ago, and Krishna comes actually very, very rarely. Once during 8,640,000,000 years. That is the day and night of Brahma. These are very, very high astronomical figures. And then, since not many people could understand Krishna Lila, pastimes of Krishna, then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes also, very rarely, also, every 8,640,000,000 years. So when he comes, he becomes the guru of all the world. He becomes Vishwambara, means he who is supporting all the world by transcendental knowledge. So he is giving that to us. But not only he is teaching, he's practicing himself also. He's practicing himself. So how does he practice? He takes birth in Navadvip. Navadvip is in Bengal. It's not different from, thank you. It's not different from Vrindavan. But then he comes to Jagannath Puri. Jagannath Puri is the abode of Lord Jagannath. Here's Jagannath, here's Baladeva, and here's Subhadra. So Krishna himself, the first expansion of Krishna here, Baladev, and here's Subhadra Devi, his sister, and also expansion. So why does Jagannath have big, big eyes? You know, when Krishna was here, let him listen. When Krishna was here 5,000 years ago, he stayed in this planet for 125 years. He was not old at any time. No gray hair, no wheelchair, always fresh youth, all attractive. But he stayed in Vrindavan only 10 years and 8 months. After that, he was taken along with Balaram, his brother, by the uncle Akrura to Mathura. Mathura has another mood. Mathura is only, nowadays, only 15 kilometers from Vrindavan, Mathura. But the mood is completely different. Krishna there is no longer cowherd boy with flute, no longer cowherd boy with peacock feather, no longer cowherd boy with long garland and with shining yellow pitambara cloth over his shoulder. No, he is the prince. And nobody knows in Mathura that Krishna is actually the son of Nanda, Yashoda, son of cowherd people. Nanda Baba, Yashoda Mata, he's Nanda Nandan, Yashoda Nandan. Everybody's thinking that he's son of Vasudeva and Devaki, because he came in the prison. They were put in prison and he came. But first he showed himself as the four-handed Vishnu. Devaki and Vasudev knew perfectly well that Krishna is Supreme Personality, but they wanted to have him as like their son. So therefore they asked him, oh, please show your two-armed form to us. So he became two-armed and stayed. And then Vasudeva brought him to Vrindavan, and at that moment when Vasudeva, because Kamsa was creating so many atrocities, and Kamsa wanted to kill the eighth son of Vasudeva, because Kamsa knew that his eighth son would kill him. So therefore Vasudeva
when mystically all the gods fell deep asleep, and was great great storm that night. So the waters of Yamuna let Vasudeva go through. He crossed Yamuna and he brought baby Krishna to Nandagaon. I mean, not to Nandagaon, to the Nanda's abode in Gokul Mahavan. And Yashoda had just given birth to Krishna, the son of Yashoda. Really, that was really so. It's not written in Srimad Bhagavatam because it wasn't told, it's too sacred. And then Yashoda was so much tortured by the birth, giving birth, that she couldn't even understand who she had given birth to. But actually, there were twins, Krishna and Subhadra, Ekanamsha, otherwise Yogamaya. So Vasudev put the boy and took the girl and brought the girl back. But actually, at that moment, what happened? Krishna, as Vasudevanandan, the son of Vasudev, Mathuresh, the lord of Mathura, was attracted by the original Krishna, who was the son of Nanda. So in that way, it was not told, but it really happened like that. So we worship Krishna as Vasudeva, Nandanandan, the son of Nanda. And the residents of Mathura, they think that he is Nandanand, that he is Vasudevanand, the son of Vasudeva. Once again, we worship Krishna as the son of Nanda and Yashoda. And the residents of Mathura, they think that Krishna is the son of Devaki and Vasudeva. And then, when the demons were Jarasandha and Kalayavana were creating so many atrocities to the residents of Mathura, then Krishna overnight took all the residents of Mathura to Dwaraka. And Dwaraka was the fortress in the middle of the ocean where Krishna lived in 16,108 palaces with all of his queens, many queens. The leading queens were Satyabhama and Rukmini. So Krishna was the prince and he was having royal opulences. He was no longer cowherd boy. It was different atmosphere, completely different atmosphere. So today we will hear very wonderful pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Jagannath Puri, and we will see very clearly the difference between Dwaraka and Vrindavan. So after Krishna lived in Vrindavan for 10 years and 8 months, he was brought to Mathura. In Mathura, he lived something like also a bit more than 10 years. And then for more than 100 years, he lived in Dwaraka. So with large family, 10 sons from each queen, 1 daughter, 11 children from each queen. He was living there. The leading queens being Rukmini and Satyabhama. So we'll hear more about that. But now let's listen what happened during Ratha-yatra. So Ratha-yatra is the festival of the chariots. There are 3 chariots: Jagannath's chariot, Baladev's chariot, Subhadra's chariot. Yes, thank you. Good. Oh, yes. So this is the temple of Jagannath in Puri. Thank you so much. Is something here also? Oh, no.
This is given by a Pandit, one of the worshippers of
Jagannath. Oh, yeah, very sweet. So this is from Jagannath, and today everybody will receive Jagannath Mahaprasad. You have that? Okay, so from this temple, Mahaprasad sweets you'll get today. So in Jagannath temple, Jagannath, Baladev, and Subhadra always reside. This is like Dwaraka, same line, Dwaraka. Remember the fortress where Krishna is no longer cowherd boy? So, but something's wrong happening because Krishna is sleeping, and in his sleep he's remembering the residents of Vrindavan. In so much separation. And he's saying their names. Especially the gopis. The gopis are the cowherd girls. Krishna's consorts, how to say, counterpart, huh? Beloveds. Krishna's beloveds. So in his mind at night, and actually every second, he's in Vrindavan. He wants to be there. He cannot. He wakes up He thinks that the ocean is River Yamuna. It's no longer River Yamuna, it's the ocean. But he's thinking, oh, it must be Yamuna. I'm still in Vrindavan. No, this is the royal opulence, the queens. So that kind of love which the residents of Vrindavan have in the abode of Vraj, in the abode of Vrindavan, is completely unforgettable. Krishna cannot forget. So he is in deep separation. And in deep separation, he is losing consciousness. At that same time, Radha loses consciousness in Vrindavan. So Krishna is without consciousness. Everybody is so worried. Nobody knows what to do. So what's happening is Narada, Krishna's friend Narada, great devotee, great Krishna's great devotee Narada, Narada, is playing transcendental Veena. He's saying, oh, I'm going to play the song about Vrindavan. I'm going to sing the song about Vrindavan. And I'm going to play my Veena. Everybody's saying, no, don't play, because then Krishna will run away. We don't want him to run away. Immediately he will run away. So then everybody's perplexed, and they're proposing, oh, maybe Uddhava should go to Vrindavan and appease the residents of Vrindavan. Uddhava is Krishna's prime minister, his best friend, and everything, whatnot. But Uddhava said, no, sorry, thank you. I've already been in Vrindavan. And I was trying to console them, but it's not possible, because I saw the greatness of their love, and I felt as if I'm a tiny insect standing at the foothills of great golden mountain. And the golden mountain is the love of the gopis, the love of the residents of Raj. Vande Nanda Vrajastrinam Padarena Vivakshinashaha Yasad Harikathod Gitam Nibhuvana Shrayam Bhuvanatrayam. He's saying, oh, I'm just bowing down of the dust of the lotus feet of the damsels of Raj, who is so qualified that their love is being, worshipped all over the three worlds, being glorified all over the three worlds. Asamaho charanarenu, Shamahamsim, Vrindavanitukamapi ulmal taushadhinam, Dustijam sajanavarya partham chahitva, Bejur mukunda padavim shruti dirvim rinkyam. He's glorifying the gopis. He's saying, oh, these gopis have left all dharma, religious principles. They left their husbands. For a Vedic lady, this is worse than suicide. The gopis ran to Krishna, because Krishna was playing the flute. And they left everything and ran. Remember, some gopi hadn't finished decorating one eye. One eye wasn't covered with eyeliner. That's at kajal. Krishna did it for her. Another gopi was getting dressed, and she put the clothes meant for the lower part of the body to the higher upper part, and vice versa. Another gopi was feeding her husband, taking care of the baby. Everything dropped, everything left, and ran away. So that's the mood of the gopis. Remember, yesterday we were discussing, they're serving Krishna with all of their bodies. So therefore, Uddhava is saying, I want to take birth in Vrindavan as a straw. So the damsels of Vrindavan and other residents, but especially damsels of Vrindavan, the gopis, they walk on me. So when we walk around Govardhan, the holy mountain of Govardhan, there's one lake, it's called Uddhava Kunda. So at that lake, on the banks of that lake, Uddhava takes birth millennium after millennium, and each millennium he takes birth as one straw. All the straws, all the grass around the Kunda, around the lake, Uddhavas of different millenniums, he is still residing there. And he's looking towards the gopis walking on him. He wants that. Put your feet on me, please. So this is the greatest of greatness of Vrindavan. Uddhava wants to take birth as a straw. Brahma wants to do Brahma, creator of the universe, wants to take birth as a stone. In fact, he is one of the mountains there. Lord Vishnu is one of the mountains. Lord Shiva is one of the mountains. Narada is practicing at Narada Kunda, and he's meditating on himself as Naradi Gopi. So Uddhava is Krishna's friend in Dwaraka. That is his fixed swarup, his immovable mood. But he wants to be in Vrindavan. So Vrindavan is attractive for everyone. Everyone is looking towards Vrindavan. And also Lakshmi Devi is so much attracted by Vrindavan, but it's a separate story because today is Hera-pancami, or the day of Lakshmi Devi's victory. So we'll hear how Lakshmi was victorious today and why, and what that fifth day really means. So then Subhadra is saying, oh, I have to go to Vrindavan. I have to go to Vrindavan because I will prepare everything. I will tell everyone Krishna will come tomorrow because Krishna had told. I will come in a few days, in a day or two, he said. So everybody's in Vrindavan is in anticipation. Everybody's waiting for Krishna to return. So they cannot eat, cannot sleep, cannot do anything. The gopis are standing like statues. Residents of Vrindavan are standing as statues in Nanda Bhavan in the palace of Nanda Maharaj. There hadn't been any cooking since Krishna left. And everything is covered with cobwebs, and spiders are feeling welcome to live there and multiply in quantity. So everything is covered with what? Forgetfulness, like they forget about eating, sleeping, all those things. In this world, once you fall in love, you forget about eating, sleeping. So devotees, mature devotees, in that mood, they forget about eating and sleeping. That's why the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan, you see them on the right, the 6 figures, headed by Rupa and Sanatana. They were sleeping only 1.5 hours. So that is the reason. So then, okay, Subhadra is coming to Vrindavan. Then Balaram is saying, I will also come, Baladev. So he's mounting his chariot. And then Narada starts playing Veena, finally, to wake up Krishna. Because, okay, Krishna is going to Vrindavan anyway. So Narada starts playing, and then Krishna wakes up. Because he wakes up when Vrindavan is being glorified, and Krishna, oh, immediately, he's waking up. But Krishna is intoxicated. Krishna cannot really stand or walk. He's like spiritual intoxication, spiritual madness. So therefore, when Lord Jagannath 5 days ago, we saw on video, direct broadcast from Puri, how Lord Jagannath, with the help of the Dayatas, the servants, was being carried, was being, how to say, escorted towards the chariot, and he was shaking like this, up and down, back and forth and left and right, like this huge Jagannath, huge, on special pillows, special silken pillows. Also the help of some special silken ropes. Those Dayatas are very, very dear. They're from Shabara race. Shabaras are tribal people around Puri. So 5 days ago we told that story in Rotterdam. You can see the video of the 4th of July. So that story is told. So then Krishna is mounting his chariot, but he cannot properly. He's intoxicated. So then Balaram goes first, because Balaram is first expansion. Bala means strength. Rama means giving all joy. So he's, how to say, leading, showing the path. Balaram is Guru. When Guru comes to your life, that's Balaram. So he's leading the path, showing the path, like with a huge torch of knowledge, right? But then second, Subhadra. So the first chariot is Balaram. So Balaram's chariot is moving first, then Subhadra's chariot. And everybody's Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath. It's just madness. A few million people are present, and demigods from the sky. They come there in disguise of pilgrims. They watch, and they're beating their gongs. The sound is just whoever has been at Ratha-yatra will never forget. That's just Lord Himself is there, so it's completely indescribable, completely indescribable. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw Jagannath first, he exclaimed, this one word used for glorifying a respectful personality, Manima. Said Manima, Manima, like this. Jagannath is coming on the chariot. Mahaprabhu said, Manima, Manima. So then they started, and well, Lord Jagannath, if he wants, he's going. And if he doesn't want to go, he stops. But at that Ratha-yatra, when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was present, two Jagannaths were there. One was moving, and one was standing and glancing with big eyes. So one Jagannath is Mahaprabhu, Sri Chaitanya. And one Jagannath is, how to say, stable, stire. He was stire, but when Mahaprabhu was dancing, then he was moving dhire dhire, little. So when Mahaprabhu was dancing, sometimes he was going back, the back of the chariot. Then Jagannath was standing, stire. And then he was standing, so he has to move. But he was not moving, so Mahaprabhu was sometimes helping him with his head from the back. So he was moving dhire dhire, little. So then, when Mahaprabhu was a bit tired after long dancing in front of the chariot, he went to the gardens, Jagannath Vallabha gardens, and he took rest a little bit. And Maharaj Prataparudra, the king of Puri, wanted to see Mahaprabhu so much. He got his mercy at that moment. Mahaprabhu didn't want to see the king because the king is aristocrat, surrounded by luxury and enjoyment. But Maharaj Prataparudra, the king of Puri, was not like that. He was a pure devotee. But Mahaprabhu still, to show the example to the world, was saying, no, I'm not going to see a Vishai. Vishai means sense enjoyer. I'm not going to see him. So, but the devotees were saying, but he's a devotee, he's a pure devotee. No. Nishkinchanasya bhagavat bhajanon mokasya param vishor bhavasagarasya. No, one who wants to cross over the ocean of nescience should not see a Vishai, or one who is attached to sense enjoyment or to ladies. And they were saying, no, he's advanced devotee. Mahaprabhu, no, didn't want. So finally, remember, we were telling yesterday also a little bit, that king, he took a broom and was dressed in ordinary clothes, and he was sweeping the path for Lord Jagannath, for the Ratha, for the chariot. And then he came in the presence of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Mahaprabhu was in the garden. He came as an ordinary citizen, dressed as an ordinary citizen. Mahaprabhu was in inner state. He couldn't recognize the king. He couldn't see who that was. But then he started singing. He started singing the song of the gopis when they were in separation with Krishna. He started the song of the gopis, and wonderful song. So then the king could hear, then Mahaprabhu could hear, and he didn't understand who was singing. He embraced the king, like this, embraced the king. And he said, Burida Jana, because the words there were, Shravanana Mangalam, Srimadatam, Vadidanti, He Burida Jana. One who sings your glories all over the world is best of the human beings, Burida Jana. Best donor to the humanity, best donor to the humanity. So Mahaprabhu was repeating the last words. Burida Jana means best donor to the humanity. You're the best donor. And he embraced the king. So the king was having all his desires fulfilled at that moment, he got all mercy from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So then great feast was served. Greatest feast. It's described here as just amazing, undescribable. So many preparations. And then somebody told Mahaprabhu that Jagannath is standing. Jagannath is not moving because Mahaprabhu was in the gardens. So Jagannath didn't want to move. Jagannath was standing. And the king engaged his best, strongest people, his soldiers, his wrestlers, they were trying to push, all in vain. Okay, the king said, engage the elephants. So the elephants were trying to push, and the elephant controllers were beating them. Elephants were crying. Jagannath is standing, Nobody could move Jagannath. When Mahaprabhu came, again with his head, he pushed Ratha, the chariot forward. Jagannath proceeded towards the temple of Gundicha. So the temple of Gundicha at the end of the Grand Road in Jagannath Puri. The Grand Road is about, like 2.5 miles, maybe like this, like 4 kilometers. So at the end of Grand Road, there's temple of Gundicha. And Gundicha is the queen of Maharaj Indradyumna. So in Satya Yuga and Old Golden Age, Maharaj Indradyumna was the king who was worshipping Jagannath first. Actually, Jagannath revealed himself for the pleasure of the king. So his queen was Gundicha, and she arranged everything for Jagannath. So the temple of Sundarachal at the end of Grand Road was called after her, Gundicha Mandir. So when Jagannath came to Gundicha, Mahaprabhu was engaged in remembering Vrindavan for 9 consecutive days. 9 days, 10 days total, Ratha-yatra. But for 9 days, the deities of Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra are in Gundicha temple. So Mahaprabhu was remembering Vrindavan, and he was going with his associates to Indradyumna, Narendra Sarovar, I think also, to the lakes, the 2 lakes there. So he was exhibiting water pastimes, and Nityananda and Advaita were mock fighting and abusing each other with strong language, exactly like cowherd boys of Vrindavan. And then Advaita, Advaita? Here, the one with the beard, he's incarnation of Mahavishnu. Mahavishnu is partial manifestation of Krishna. So he was lying on the water, and Mahaprabhu was reclining on him, like his carrier, actually. So they were playing like this, many pastimes. And he was in the mood of Krishna would return to Vrindavan. But he was always actually remembering Krishna in the mood of Radhika. He was thinking of the pastimes of Radha and Krishna. So Mahaprabhu was so ecstatic, he was personally splashing all devotees with water. And he was pairing off with someone to mock fight in the water also. So fights were between Srivas Thakur and Gadadhar Pandit, Raghava Pandit and Vakresvara. Today is the disappearance day of Vakresvara Pandit, who glorify him a bit further. So then Sarvabhauma was sporting with Ramananda Rai. So many pairs. So then Mahaprabhu was strongly meditating on Vrindavan. And he told Vakreshwar Prabhu to dance. So Vakreshwar Prabhu, today is his disappearance day. He's the incarnation of Aniruddha, one of the members of quadruple expansion. Vasudeva, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, Aniruddha. So he's incarnation of Aniruddha. Also, one of the gopis of Vrindavan, what's her name? entered his body, Shashireka. So Vakresvara Prabhu was a great dancer, and he could dance 3 days in a row, non-stop. You know, in spiritual world, every step is every word is a song, every step is a dance. So Vakresvara was able to dance. He was telling Mahaprabhu, "Oh, please give me 10 singers. Let them sing together. I will be dancing." So Mahaprabhu was saying, "Oh yes, please dance." So he was coming and dancing for Mahaprabhu's pleasure. He was always accompanying Mahaprabhu. And when Mahaprabhu was dancing at Ratha-yatra in front of Lord Jagannath, there were singers and dancers in 7 groups. So one of the leading dancers was Vakresvara Pandit. And Mahaprabhu was so swift, he was dancing everywhere, simultaneously, like they was thinking simultaneously. Actually, he was running from group to group. And he was manifested in front of everyone. So everybody was thinking, Mahaprabhu is only in our group. So fast he was dancing. So Vakresvara Prabhu was dancing also. Once Vakresvara Prabhu came to Vrindavan, to Navadvip, the birthplace of Mahaprabhu. So many devotees were there. And he helped very much one very learned person whose name was Devananda Pandit. Because that learned person, Devananda Pandit, was in a fix for some time. He had committed an offense to Srivas, great devotee of Sri Chaitanya. So Srivas was going along the road, and you know, high devotee is attracted to Krishna anywhere, anytime. And Devananda was giving a class on Srimad Bhagavatam. He was very learned scholar, but he was not a devotee, unfortunately. But he was reading Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam. So, like if Bhagavad Gita is encyclopedic, short encyclopedic dictionary, and Srimad Bhagavatam is large encyclopedia, 12 cantos, with some essence of all Vedas and Krishna's incarnations, Krishna's pastimes, everything is there. Lives of great devotees. So, especially 10th canto is so amazing because all Krishna Lila, all pastimes of Krishna are given there. So, Devananda Pandit was reading that, but dryly, without any taste. But his students were listening. And Srivas Thakur became very attracted to the sounds of Srimad Bhagavatam. So he came in, sat down, but very soon he lost control completely and he started rolling on the ground, weeping, shouting like this. So that was a bit disturbing for the audience. So Devananda's students took him out. And Devananda was not reacting as if nothing happened. So he was also, participating in that offense. Srivas was a great devotee. They couldn't see. As a result, Devananda was in a great fix. But he was having some pious credit from before, so Mahaprabhu decided to save him. So when Vakresvara came, Vakresvara Pandit, that devotee whose disappearance day is today, he decided, all right, I'll be dancing now. So he was dancing for 3 days and nights non-stop. And great crowd was present there. And the pandal, or the, marquee, big place where he was dancing was quite small. So the crowd was just coming and people were, from village to village, everybody's inviting their relatives, and you know how it goes. Aunts to aunties to cousin brothers, cousin sisters. So they're all gathered there, and they were watching. But there had to be someone who could control the crowd, check the crowd. So Devananda was very strong physically, so he was preventing the crowd from falling onto Vakresvara, who was dancing. So he was standing like this for 3 days and nights. And Vakresvara was in complete trance. And at the end, he gave blessings to Devananda, who was serving. Said, "Oh, let love of Krishna enter your heart." So thus Devananda was saved. And later he was strongly rebuked by Mahaprabhu, chastised by Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu told him, tell you what he told him. Listen, O Brahmin, if somebody eats poison, then he must take ambrosia from the same mouth. But you gave some poison. You were criticizing, like you didn't react when they misbehaved with the great devotee Srivas, and you were idly sitting. So now you have to glorify devotees, because you were, by your silence, you were actually insulting. So, through serving a devotee, Devananda Pandit became a believer of Mahaprabhu's lotus feet. Great, great devotee himself also he became, because Mahaprabhu gave him mercy. You have served Vakresvara, therefore I have come to save you. Vakresvara is the great representative of Mahaprabhu, so he's like within Mahaprabhu's very close associates, the circle of Mahaprabhu's close associates. So Vakresvara gave you mercy, so you will be saved. And Mahaprabhu finally gave instructions to Devananda. He said, one who thinks I understand Bhagavatam does not really know the Bhagavatam's central meaning. But ignorant person who has love of God in his heart understands Bhagavatam completely. That's the principle of pure devotional service, because especially nowadays, so many people without any caste identity, without any qualifications, they come to the path of devotional service. They're rebuked very strongly by caste brahmanas so much. But to be a caste brahmana is all right, provided you have love and affection for the Lord, real love. You have love and affection for the Lord, you cannot be caste brahman anymore. You're free from caste mentality. So our singers, they sang in many kirtans, then Brahmana Chandala. So Brahmanas and Chandalas, untouchables, will dance and sing together the Lord's holy names. So Vakresvara Pandit was very famous as a Vaishnava, and he had disciples. One of his great disciples was Sri Gopal Guru Goswami. When Gopal Guru Goswami was very young, he was a boy, he got Mahaprabhu's mercy. Mahaprabhu was chanting all the time, Krishna, 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 but before entering the toilet, he was thinking, oh, that's an impure place, so I should stop chanting. So he was holding his tongue like this. And the little boy Gopal told him, oh, why are you stopping? You have to chant anywhere. Even if the place is impure, no problem, you chant. The name doesn't depend on the place. Time and place and circumstances. So Mahaprabhu was so pleased to say, oh Gopal, you're my guru, you're my guru. So the boy received that nickname, Gopal Guru. So then he became Gopal Guru Goswami, and then he was residing in, after Mahaprabhu's disappearance, he was residing in Jagannath Puri, in the place where Mahaprabhu was residing long, long years, in Gambhira. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in great, great ecstasy. He was always remembering Vrindavan, and he was remembering Krishna in the mood of Radharani. So in Gambhira, in his secluded room, Gambhira means remote and also deep. There are many meanings. So he was in Gambhira, and those ecstatic manifestations were just unprecedented. We cannot speak about everything today, but anyway, just mention. So after Mahaprabhu disappeared, Gopal Guru Goswami was residing there in Gambhira. But as soon as he left his body, he left this world, some government inspectors came and they sealed the temple doors, they closed the temple. And the deities of Radha-kanta became without servant, without sevak. So the temple was under the danger of being closed forever. And Dhyana Chandra Goswami was very much distressed because he was the disciple of Gopal Guru Goswami, so the grand disciple of Vakresvara Pandit. So he was crying and crying. When somebody told him, "Oh, why are you lamenting? We've just seen your Gurudev in Vrindavan. He's sitting in Dhir-Samir area performing bhajan. How? My Gurudev left his body, he left this world." No, we've just seen him. He's in Vrindavan. So Dhyan Chandra Goswami went to Vrindavan, which is a long way. It's like 30 hours by train nowadays. Slow train, Indian anyway. So now minimum 24 hours by train. But he went on foot. He went to Vrindavan all the way from the east coast to Vrindavan, which is the central part of India. He saw, really, Gopal Guru Goswami is sitting there and performing bhajan. You imagine? So now we worship that place where he was sitting. In Dhir Samir, in front of Dhir Samir, there's Gopal Guru Goswami mat. His deity is there, and the tree under which he was sitting is still there. So he saw, and he bowed down to his Guru. He's still here on earth. Imagine, it doesn't matter. They can appear anywhere, anytime. So Gopal Guru Goswami told Dhyan Chandra, his disciple, go back to Puri and make my deity out of neem tree. Neem. So Dhyan Chandra Goswami returned to Puri and made his Gurudev's deity out of neem tree. Oh, and he said, I will witness. In the form of that deity, I will witness, I will tell with my voice that this temple belongs to us. So the government inspectors came again, and the deity of Gopal Guru Goswami physically said, and they heard, that this temple belongs to us. This temple, Radha Mat, belongs to the Gaudiya Vaishnavas. So it was confirmed by Gopal Guru himself. So they were just, imagine, huh? You can hear your own ears, no hallucination. So Vakresvara Pandit Prabhu is so glorious. You see, his disciples and grand disciples were like this, so we can imagine how great he was. So in Ratha-yatra also, Vakresvara Pandit Prabhu was dancing on that day. Mahaprabhu said, asked Vakresvara Pandit to dance. Then the festival Hera-pancami was approaching, the 5th day of Ratha-yatra, it's today. Hera means to see. So on the 5th day of Ratha-yatra, Lakshmi Devi, the wife of Lord Jagannath, becomes very, very much morose. What's going on? Where's my husband? I have one suspicion. I suspect that he has left Puri, especially to go to Vrindavan. I think that he ran away to Vrindavan. I'm going to take my army and I'm going to arrest all of his associates and chastise him. So she's very, very determined to go and do that. And she is possessed with man. Man means great jealous anger. Jealous anger. So Lakshmi is very angry at that moment. So Mahaprabhu was anticipating the relish of that festival, because actually Mahaprabhu had told, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya had told Kashi Mishra, the superintendent of the temple, actually his house was Gambhira, and then Gopal Guru Goswami was living there. So yeah, please arrange the festival in a gorgeous way so that it will be even more gorgeous than Ratha-yatra itself, a Hera-pancami festival. So Gurudev is saying, why was that? Why that was? Because for advanced devotees, this Hera-pancami festival is very, very special, even more special than the Ratha-yatra, because it's like the top moment of Ratha-yatra, during which we see the super excellent sea of Vrindavan mood, Vrindavan pastimes, very, very clearly, as if, in the way It's not even during Ratha-yatra. So King Prataparudra told Kashi Mishra, superintendent, he said, King Prataparudra, remember, who got special mercy of Mahaprabhu, who was singing dressed as an ordinary citizen. So he said, oh, hold this festival in a very gorgeous way. Take printed clothes, small bells, umbrellas, and chamaras, everything from the deity's storehouse. Collect all kinds of large and small flags and ringing bells and decorate the carrier and have various musical and dancing parties accompany this ceremony. So he requested. And also prepare double quantity of prasadam. So arrange the festival in such a way that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu may freely go with his devotees to visit the deity without difficulty. So then, in the morning of this day, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took his personal associates and they went to Lord Jagannath at Sundarachal. So Jagannath was in the temple of Gundicha at that time. Remember, before the festival started, Ratha-yatra, it was Gundicha Marjana. They were cleaning Gundicha temple with so many brooms and so many buckets of water. So represents our heart so that Jagannath can come. Finally, Jagannath came and he was seated there on the throne for 10 days, 9 days. So then Kashi Mishra arranged for Mahaprabhu and some of his associates a special type of balcony just in front of the central entrance of the temple, Lion Gate, Simhadwara. And they were watching. They were watching the angry Lakshmi Devi. She was coming out of the temple along with her soldiers. And Mahaprabhu approached Swarupa Damodara Goswami, his personal secretary. And he said that, oh, all these gardens exactly resemble Vrindavan. So Jagannath is so happy to see them. Externally, he gives the excuse that he wants to participate in Ratha-yatra. He wants to stroll, to walk. But actually, he wants to go to Vrindavan and Lakshmi Devi. A faithful wife is very, very difficult to cheat. Practically impossible. So she knows pretty well what Krishna is up to. He wants to go to Vrindavan. He wants to go to Vrindavan where the incomparable sweetness is there. You know, imagine the grief of a wife who cannot really control the desires of her husband. So difficult. Like, she's able to give him everything which is available in Dwaraka. But Jagannath means Mahaprabhu, Krishna. Krishna is sleeping and dreaming. Lalite, Lalite, Vishake, Radhe, Radhe. O Lalita, O Vishaka, O Radha. Radha and her closest associates, Lalita and Vishaka. So he's dreaming and he's uttering their names. So what to do? I cannot give him really, she understands. I cannot really give him what he desires. And so she's very, very upset and she is going with all of her army, the best generals and soldiers, to punish them all. So that's the manifestation of her man. So Mahaprabhu inquired from Swarupa Damodar. The Lord enjoys his pastimes day and night in various flower gardens there. But why does he not take Lakshmi Devi, the goddess of fortune, with him? He cannot go with Lakshmi. So he goes with his brother and sister, Balaram, Baladev, and Subhadra. So Swarup Damodar replied, my dear Lord, please hear the reason for this. Lakshmi Devi, the goddess of fortune, cannot be admitted to the pastimes of Vrindavan. In the pastimes of Vrindavan, the only assistants are the gopis. The gopis, cowherd maidens. And Lakshmi is who? Brahmani. Brahmani. Exalted, educated, well-mannered, so knowing so much, aristocratic lady. So how can an aristocratic lady be an ordinary cowherd girl? Not possible. But Lakshmi Devi still wants that. still wants that. And across from Vrindavan, across from the river Yamuna, maybe within 3 kilometers or so from Vrindavan, there is a village. And there's a forest. The forest is called Belwan. So in Belwan, Lakshmi Devi is looking at Vrindavan and her hands are folded like this. She's looking at Vrindavan with holding hands like this. It's very unusual, Lakshmi. And we visit the temple and we always discuss this lila. So usually Lakshmi gives blessings with her hand like this, and she gives coins. You remember those Indian paintings, yeah, pictures. So, but there, no, she's in a different role, completely different role. So Lakshmi Devi also wants to go to Vrindavan so much. Not only go to Vrindavan, she can see Krishna's rasa dance. Krishna plays the flute, and hundreds of millions of gopis are attracted by Krishna's flute, and they're running to the rasa dance, dance of rasa. Rasa is the dance where one youth is dancing with many, many girls. So that is Krishna. He's the jewel of the rasa dance. We have Japamala, the beads. And the big bead is who? Krishna. And 100 small beads are who? The gopis. That's the essence. So that's why we remember Krishna dancing with the gopis. That's very high meditation. Very, very high. Today we're discussing very, very high topics. Oh my God. But anyway, that's the festival, so we have to speak. Our intention is to realize all those tattvas, exalted truths. So, yes, so Lakshmi is looking at Vrindavan, and she was so desirous, so greedy to enter Vrindavan that she approached Yogamaya Devi. Yogamaya is the presiding deity of Vrindavan. You can see her on the second row, top row on the left. We live in her temple when we're in Vrindavan, like some boys, brahmacharis, and 2 sannyasis. So she gave sanction to Lakshmi. She said, "Oh, you want to join Rasa Lila? Okay, so you have to become a gopi, obviously, because it's well known. But who are the participants of dancing, of Rasa dance? Certainly the gopis, certainly the covered maidens. So you have become one. You have to become one. All right, I'm ready. What should I do? Oh, you should be engaged in some ordinary type of service. You have to make cow dung patties and cover clay houses. Those, like ladies, they do. Put some devotees are practicing quite unsuccessfully. The aspiring gopis, but they didn't succeed really. Some of them did. It's good. Mostly ladies are experts. Yeah, the gents, we have to chant one extra mantra, Brahma Gayatri. It's not for the ladies, because you have those qualities already. You don't need to chant Brahma Gayatri. But the gents, we chant Brahma Gayatri. Be ready, soon you will receive. Yes. Because our hearts are quite tough, quite, hard. So we have to soften our hearts by Gopal mantra, but Brahma Gayatri mantra. But ladies are... So ladies are ready for many, many types of service in Krishna's pastimes like this, like gopis. Look, Lakshmi said, okay, the cowherd maiden, all right, okay, I can give up my aristocratic nature, no problem. All right, so but also you have to marry a gopa. A gopa means a cowherd man. I have to marry a gopa? Not only that, you have to leave him sometimes to go to dance with Krishna. So that Lakshmi Devi just could not follow, just could not. Because she's topmost chaste lady to Lord Narayana. She always resides at his lotus feet and massages them. And there's no thought even in her head to leave us. Oh my God. In Vaikuntha is not possible, in Vaikuntha region, where Lakshmi Narayana is situated. But in Krishna Loka, in the planet of Krishna, Parakya, or loving the pastimes not bound by the codes of marital life, are most beautiful, most beautiful. Parakya. Svakya is also okay, good, in different regions of Goloka, in Aishwarya Goloka. They're like as if Svakya means bound by marital laws. See? But Krishna was in Dwarka, so many wives, so many queens. And so much Svakya means regulated association of husband and wife. He wanted to leave that and run to Vrindavan because the gopis are there, you see. So Parakya has some special flavor, some special romance, some special flavor, some taste. So Lakshmi also wanted to taste that, but she could not give up her Brahmani Abhiman, means self-conception about being a Brahmani, being a representative of the highest order and the chaste wife of the highest of the Brahmanas, Lord Narayana. So she could not leave. That's why Kaviraj Goswami is saying in one verse, Krishna accepts only those who are in Gopa Jata, in the category of the Gopas. Coward boys and coward girls. That's who Krishna accepts. If somebody wants to become, you can practice so Lakshmi is in that practicing position. She's eternally with folded hands looking at the Rasa Lila with great respect and adoration. She could not cross the boundary. She could not just become Gopi. She could not. She cannot. So that's why she could not accompany Lord Jagannath for his promenade, how to say, Ratha-yatra. Ratha-yatra. She could not accompany. So, in pastimes of Vrindavan, the only associates are the gopis. But for the gopis, no one can attract the mind of Krishna. Really, you see. No one can attract the mind of Krishna. That's topmost secret. We're discussing, all the other sampradayas, all the other spiritual schools cannot believe this. Because their love, the prema they're practicing is other moods, not Vrindavan, not Vraj. They cannot take this. Even Lakshmi is attracted, but actually cannot take, but so much attracted. So that's the secret. But Mahaprabhu is continuing with these provoking questions. Mahaprabhu is the master of provoking questions. So he's continuing. Using the car festival as an excuse, Krishna goes there with Subhadra and Baladeva. Krishna didn't walk alone. He walked with brother and sister, to be free from, to be safe from any prejudice or any suspicion, suspiciousness, from Lakshmi. And all the pastimes of the gopis that take place in those gardens are very confidential ecstasies of Lord Krishna. No one knows them. Since there is no fault in all Krishna's pastimes, why does the goddess of fortune become angry? So we can see, if everything is good, everything is nice in Vaikuntha, everything is nice in Dwaraka, everything is nice in Mathura, why is that anger? Everything is also very nice in Vrindavan. From the philosophical point of view, it's all equal. Krishna is there as Narayana. Okay, philosophically we understand it's God. That is God. He is there in Dwarakadish. Very good. He is there in Mathura, Mathuresh. Very good. In Vrindavan, he's Govinda, playing flute. Also very good. But from the point of view of rasa, or the point of view of the relationship, there's huge difference, vast difference. Rasa means mellow, very deep taste. And it's very much chamatkar. Chamatkar means astonishing. But what is the gradation of those moods? Actually, there are more and more and more astonishing moods, and there's gradation. So today's discussion is just about that. So let's listen further. When Swarup Damodar heard that, he replied, It is the nature of a girl afflicted by love to become immediately angry upon finding any neglect on the part of her lover. Formula. This is it. Because Swarup Damodara Goswami is who? Lalita, you know. So who can give shiksha to Krishna? Lalita Devi. Lalita Devi. Especially Lalita is so much outspoken. Outspoken. As we say in Russian, she will not search for a word in her pocket. At once giving, you know. Not at once. You're durta. She's saying to Krishna, you're durta. Means unfaithful lover. At once, durta. Like one arrow into the heart. So Krishna is not feeling good. I'm durta, you know. She is cursing me like this. So many different types of gopis with many different moods. When Swarup Damodara and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu were talking, the procession of the goddess of fortune came by. She was riding upon a golden palanquin carried by 4 men and bedecked with a variety of jewels. The palanquin was also surrounded by people carrying umbrellas, chamara whisks, and flags, and it was preceded by musicians and dancing girls. The maidservants were carrying water pitchers, chamara whisks, and boxes for betel nuts. There were hundreds of maidservants, all attractively dressed and wearing valuable necklaces. In an angry mood, the goddess of fortune arrived at the main gate of the temple, accompanied by many members of her family, all of whom exhibited uncommon opulence. The opulence, the level of opulence. What, you want the light on? No problem. Okay. So, if no problem for you, I have my screen here. Right, so in an angry mood, the goddess of fortune arrived at the main gate of the temple, accompanied by many members. Yes. When the procession arrived, the maidservants of the goddess of fortune began to arrest all the principal servants of Jagannath. Okay, mission was being fulfilled then. Slowly, arresting one by one. Now listen how, in what a funny way they were arresting them. Okay, the maidservants bound the servants of Jagannath, handcuffed them, and make them fall down at the lotus feet of the goddess of fortune. Indeed, they were arrested just like thieves who have all their riches taken away. When the servants fell down before the lotus feet of the goddess of fortune, they almost fell unconscious. They were chastised and make the butt of jokes of loose language. You know, Vrindavan is known with loose language, but also the servants of Lakshmi can use it, you know, so they can talk to Brijbasis. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's associates saw such impudence exhibited by the maidservants of the goddess of fortune, they covered their faces with hands and began to smile. Mildly smile. So Swarup Damodar said, "Oh, there is no egoistic pride like this within the 3 worlds. At least I have never seen or heard of it. When a woman is neglected and disappointed, out of egoistic pride she gives up her ornaments and morosely sits down on the ground, making lines on it within her nails. So Satyabhama in Dwaraka is like this. She has a Mana Mandir, a temple of sulkiness, yes, sulky anger. You know, so she removes all of her ornaments. She puts on ordinary clothes, and with her nails she draws something on the ground. So Satyabhama, she's manifestation of Radhika, Satyabhama, and Rukmini is a manifestation of Chandravali. So, but in the case of the goddess of fortune, I see a different kind of pride. Goddess of fortune is just mad in her man, in her Jalasanga. She manifests her own opulences and even goes with her soldiers to attack her husband, you see. Mahaprabhu said, "Please tell me of the varieties of egoistic pride manifested in Vrindavan." So Swarup Damodar Goswami started telling, there are 3 types of women experiencing jealous anger: sober, restless, and both restless and sober. So when a sober heroine sees her hero approaching from a distance, she immediately stands up to receive. When he comes near, she immediately offers him place to sit. The sober heroine is very serious. Conceals her anger within her heart and externally speaks sweet words. Knows manners and very mild. When her lover embraces her, she returns his embrace. The sober heroine is very simple in her behavior. She keeps her jealous anger within her heart, but within mild words and smiles she rejects the advances of her lover. But the restless heroine, however, is quite the opposite. Sometimes even chastises her lover with cruel words, like really cruel words. Sometimes pulls his ear, and sometimes binds him with a flower garland. So that's the situation in Vrindavan. The heroine, who is a combination of sobriety and restlessness, always jokes with equivocal words in between. She sometimes praises her lover, sometimes blasphemes him, sometimes remains indifferent. So, in the realm of Braja Gopis, Chandravali is the example of the first type of heroines, sober, and Radhika is the example of the second one, restless. Otherwise, right mood and left mood. So Radhika is the topmost manifestation of the left mood, or Bhamya Bhava. And Dakshina Bhava, or right mood, is the group of Chandravali. So the pure maidservants of Srimati Radhika are not even willing to hear the name of Chandravali. Because Chandravali is very, very sober. She's thinking, oh, I belong to Krishna. So that is called Drita Sneha, or love which is like ghee. So ghee, clarified butter, is, well, it's quite neutral. Well, a bit sweet, but you cannot eat ghee. So you should add something so that it becomes sweet. But the love of Radhika is quite the opposite. It's called Madhu Sneha. Madhu means honey. So honey is very, very sweet by itself. And it can also be added to something and will give very, very strong taste. So Radhika and her gopis are thinking Krishna belongs to us. And if somebody belongs to you, you can really say whatever you desire. You can do whatever you desire because that person belongs to you. And Krishna loves it most. He loves Radhika's man so much. So it is very, very deep manifestation of love. One of the levels of prema. These things are completely transcendental. We're discussing about the Lord and his multifarious energies today. Very, very deep and filled with rasa, this discussion. So, heroines may also be classified as captivated, intermediate, and impudent. The captivated heroine does not know very much about the cunning intricacies of jealous anger. The captivated heroine simply covers her face and goes on crying. When she hears sweet words from her lover, she is very satisfied. Both the intermediate and impudent heroines can be classified as sober, restless, and both sober and restless. All their characteristics can be further classified in three divisions. Some of them are very talkative, some are mild, some are equipoised. Each heroine, according to her own character, increases Sri Krishna's loving ecstasy. So who are they? There are 360 types of gopis, 360. And all of them are actually expansions of Srimati Radhika's body. So we know that all female expressions, they come from Srimati Radhika's body. In that map of cosmology we don't have today, in the first evening we had. So we remember the blue side and the red side. So the blue side are the male expansions of Krishna, like Narayana in Vaikuntha, like Lord Ram, and all types of incarnations. So on the right side there's red part and so many expansions of the Swarupa Shakti, or internal energy, Srimati Radhika, are given. So we sang today, Umara Masatya Shati Chandra Rukmini Ratha-yatra Sab Amne Boli. So all types of heroines in different abodes are manifestations of Srimati Radhika's transcendental body. Uma is wife of Lord Shiva, Parvati. Uma Rama means Rama with long eyes. Narayani, For Lakshmi is Umarama, Satya, Satyabhama, the queen, Rukmini, the queen, Chandravali, the rival of Srimati Radhika, another gopi of Vamya Bhava, the Dakshina Bhava, the rightish mood. So, Swarup Damodara continued, Krishna is the master of all transcendental mellows and the taster of all transcendental mellows, and his body is composed of transcendental bliss. Krishna is full of ecstatic love and always subordinate to the love of his devotees. The gopis are very much experienced in pure love and in the dealings of transcendental mellows. There is no flaw or adulteration in the love of the gopis. Therefore, they give Krishna the highest pleasure. They give the highest pleasure. Who is saying? Lalita is saying. Swarupa Damodara Goswami ki jai. He is confirming. The gopis factually giving highest pleasure for Krishna. So, Lord Krishna, who is the absolute truth, enjoyed the rasa dance every night during the autumn season. He performed the dance in the moonlight and with full transcendental mellows. He used poetic words and surrounded himself with women who were very much attracted to him. The Lord is dancing with his energy, and everything starts on the full moon of Sharadiya, of the autumn full moon, the month of Kartik. So we're inviting all, please join the parikrama starting on the 13th of October, beginning of the month of Kartik, on that Sharadiya Purnima, full moon of autumn season. So the gopis can be divided, left wing, right wing, we already discussed. Okay, so when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard these talks, the ocean of transcendental bliss increased. He therefore told Swarup Damodara, Kaha, Kaha, go on speaking, go on speaking. Could not stop hearing. After this, Swarup Damodara continued, Srimati Radharani's love is highly advanced ecstasy. All her dealings are supremely pure and devoid of material tinge. Indeed, her dealings are 10 times purer than gold. She is Gauri, means she is golden color. Why? Because she is much purer than gold. She is shining in molten gold color. So, now transcendental ornaments of Srimati Radharani's body. 8 sattvika bhavas, 8 manifestations of ecstasy, like hair standing on end, crying, and all those transcendental symptoms. The 33 vyabhichari bhavas, like waves coming and going. Beginning with harsha, jubilation, natural love. 20 bhavas, ecstatic emotional ornaments. Some of the symptoms critically explained in the following verses are killa kinchita, kuttamita, vilasa, lalita, vivvoka, mortayita, mogdhya, and chakita. So killa kinchita, etc. So killa kinchita, Jayavadharma says, I think I closed it. Anyway, Kila Kinchita is great, great jubilation, which is expressed in a certain way as a mixture of different moods, contradictory moods. So these are very high things, and even I couldn't open. So it means not for today, not time will come, time will come. So Srimati Radharani's body manifests the ornaments of many ecstatic symptoms. The ocean of Krishna's happiness immediately displays transcendental waves. So the supreme male, supreme female, you understand? Interdependent. Mahaprabhu are both. Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna, Nayanya. So no one but Radha Krishna together. So therefore he's so much eager to hear again. Now here a description of different ecstasies, beginning of Kila Kinchita. With these ecstatic ornaments, Srimati Radharani enchants the mind of Krishna. So when Sri Krishna sees Radharani and wants to touch her body, he prohibits her from going to the spot where one can cross the river Yamuna. Approaching her, Krishna prohibits Radharani from picking flowers. He may also touch her in the point in front of other friends, her friends. At such times, the ecstatic symptoms of Kila Kinchita are awakened. So these are the circumstances into which they are awakened. First, there is jubilation and ecstatic love, which is the root cause of all these symptoms. And then still it's described here a little bit. Pride, ambition, weeping, smiling, envy, fear, and anger are the 7 ecstatic loving symptoms manifested by jubilant shrinking way, and these symptoms are called Kila Kinchita Bhava. Seemingly contradicting, see? Pride, ambition, weeping, smiling, envy, fear, anger, simultaneously. 7. So these are 7 other, there are 7 other transcendental ecstatic symptoms, and when they combine on the platform is jubilation, the whole combination is called Mahabhava. And Mahabhava is the level of prema which is typical for Srimati Radharani and the gopis. To some extent also to cowherd boys. Yeah. But Srimati Radhika manifests the absolutely highest manifestation, which is Madanakya, Madana Mahabhava. It's completely unprecedented. So Mahabhava Swarupa Shirada Takurani, Sarvaguna Kane Krishna Kanta Shiramani. Mahabhava Swarupa means the manifestation of Mahabhava, Srimati Radharani. So Sarvaguna Kani, she is the repository of all good qualities. Krishna Kanta Shiramani, so she is the crown jewel of all the great necklace of Krishna's beloveds. So, also 8 symptoms of ecstatic love on the platform of transcendental jubilation. When they combined and tasted by Krishna, the Lord's mind is completely satisfied. Indeed, that is bhakti rasa, and is combined to a combination of yogurt, candy, ghee, honey, black pepper, camphor, and cardamom, like a sherbet, which one mixed together, are very tasty and sweet. Lord Krishna is thousands upon thousands of times more satisfied when he sees Radharani's face light up from this combination of ecstatic love than he is by direct union with her. So the moods, they give more ecstasy, more jubilation for Krishna. Why is Radhika so eager to decorate herself, eager to experience new and new types of modes for the pleasure of Krishna? Because she is always satisfying Krishna. That's her mood, the essence of her existence. So that is why she's called Krishna Kanta, yeah, beloved of Krishna. Krishna Mati, always thinking of Krishna. Krishna Mai. She consists of Krishna. And Krishna is Radhanath. He is the beloved of Radhika, and he surrenders to Radhika. So then one quotation is there, given by Kaviraj Goswami. May the sight of Srimati Radharani's Kila Kinchit ecstasy, which is like a bouquet, bring good fortune to all. When Krishna blocked Radharani's way to the Dhanagati, there was laughter within her heart. So Radhika and the gopis were crossing, were walking by Govardhan, the mountain of Govardhan, carrying many, many milk products, ghee, yogurt, and so many others, for the sacrifice Bhaguri Rishi was conducting. So, but Krishna blocked her way. He became a tax collector. And it's dan. So he was collecting dan, or tax. So then Lalita started jerking. She was humiliating Krishna. So, well, who are you? I am Vrindavaneshwar, and I'm collecting tax. I'm Vrindavaneshwar, I'm the king of Vrindavan. I'm collecting tax from you. You cannot pass unless you pay me tax. Who are you? Since when have you become Vrindavaneshwar? Oh, Radhika is Vrindavaneshwari. She is the queen of Raj. Yes, I'm the king of Vrindavan and Vrinda. Tulasi Devi. You see, this Tulasi, this plant. She is Vrinda. She is the transcendental goddess. We circumambulate her every morning. You can come tomorrow and try. Yes. So Vrindavan. Van means forest. Vrinda's forest. So many of tulsi trees are growing. And she is my legitimate wife. What? Vrinda, come here. See this black fellow. He is saying that you're his legitimate wife. I've never seen him. Who is he? Vrinda is saying. So those conversations, very, very funny conversations, are heard by Srila Raghunath Das Goswami and other Vaishnavas in their devotional trance, chanting Harinam, holy name. But when Krishna blocked Radharani's way, then her eyes grew bright and fresh tears flowed from her eyes, reddening them. Due to her sweet relationship with Krishna, her eyes were enthusiastic, and when the crying subsided, she appeared even more beautiful. So Krishna loves that, how Radharani's appearance changes. Agitated by tears, Radharani's eyes were tinged with red, just like the eastern horizon at sunrise. Her lips began to move with jubilation and lusty desire. Her eyebrows curved, and her lotus-like face smiled mildly. Seeing Radharani's face exhibit with such emotion, Lord Sri Krishna felt 1,000,000 times happier than when he embraced her. Indeed, Lord Krishna's happiness is not at all mundane. So they do everything for Krishna, all the residents of Vrindavan, especially the gopis and especially Radharani. Nobody can decorate herself like Srimati Radharani. So Mahaprabhu heard this and he became very happy, and being absorbed in this happiness, he embraced Swarup Damodar Goswami. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then asked Swarup Damodar, please speak of the ecstatic ornaments decorating the body of Radharani, by which she enchants the mind of Govinda. So Swarup Damodar began to speak. Sometimes when Radharani is sitting or where she's going to Vrindavan, she sees Krishna. The symptoms of various ecstasies that become manifest at that time are called vilas. These varieties of symptoms are in a woman's face, eyes, and the other parts of her body, and the way she moves, stands, and sits when she melts her beloved are called vilas. So timidity, jubilation, ambition, respect, fear, and the characteristics of the left-wing gopis are all ecstatic symptoms to combine to agitate Radharani. So when Srimati Radharani stands before Krishna, she stands bent in 3 places: her neck, waist, and legs, and her eyebrows dance. When there is an awakening of the various ecstatic features of Radharani's face and in her eyes that are appropriate to a charming feminine attitude, the Lalita ornament is manifest. When the bodily features are delicate and expertly curved, and when the eyebrows are very beautifully agitated, the ornament of feminine charm, such as Lalita Alankara, is manifest. Different how they are manifest. When Lord Krishna happens to see Radharani decorated with these Lalita ornaments, they both eagerly want to meet each other, etc., etc., etc. So then he describes what is when Krishna comes forward and greedily snatches at the border of her sari. Radharani is actually very pleased with him, but she still tries to stop him. This ecstatic attitude of Srimati Radharani is called Kuttamita. So it's very high, we're just touching a little bit. So Radharani may look very angry externally, but actually she is always, always thinking, let Krishna satisfy his desires. So that's why she is filled with desire to satisfy Krishna's desires. She actually doesn't want to stop him. So Swarup Damodar continued, it's not possible to describe the unlimited pastimes of Krishna, even though he himself describes them in his incarnations, in his incarnation of Sahasravadana, 1,000-mouthed Shesha. So Sheshanaga, or the great, great snake with millions of hoods, is always speaking, speaking, speaking. Harikatha, narrations about Krishna, and there's no end to that. At that time, Srivas Thakur smiled and told his, how to say, he started his part of the conversation to Swarup Damodar, because Swarup Damodar is Lalita. So Swarup Damodar will definitely defend the Vrindavan pastimes and defend Krishna in Vrindavan, Radhika in Vrindavan. But Swarup Damodar had something to say. Swarup Damodar is Narada, you know, Narada. Narada is Dwaraka Parishad. He's the associate of Krishna in Dwaraka. So therefore, he started to glorify Dwaraka. He said, "My dear sir, please hear. Just see how opulent my goddess of fortune is. Just see. As far as Vrindavan's opulence is concerned, it consists of a few flowers and twigs, some minerals from the hills, a few peacock feathers, and a plant known as gunja. Gunja is berries. Radhika is decorated with them, and they symbolize Radhika. So Krishna's symbol is peacock feather and Radhika's gunja. When Jagannath decided to see Vrindavan, he went there, and upon hearing this, the goddess of fortune experienced restlessness and jealousy. You see, so he's glorifying Lakshmi. Lakshmi really was victorious, but the victory actually was with the mood of Vrindavan. That's the inner meaning of Hera-pancami for us. See? Yeah, so Lakshmi wondered, why did Lord Jagannath give up so much opulence and go to Vrindavan? To make him a laughing stock. The goddess of fortune made arrangements for much decoration. The maidservants of the goddess of fortune said to the servants of Jagannath, "Why did your Lord Jagannath abandon the great opulence of the goddess of fortune, and for the sake of a few leaves, fruit, and flowers, go to see flower garden of Srimati Radharani? What's available there? Just some leaves, fruit, and gunja berries, and some bullock carts and dust, a lot of dust, So what's in there in Vrindavan? They cannot understand. Your master is so expert at everything, but why does he go do such things? Now bring your master before the goddess of fortune." In this way, all the maidservants of the goddess of fortune arrested the servants of Jagannath, bound them around the waist, and brought them before the goddess of fortune for the trial. When all the maidservants brought Lord Jagannath's servants before the goddess of fortune, the Lord's servants were fined and forced to submit. All the maidservants began to beat the Ratha car with sticks. The chariot was being beaten, and they treated servants of Jagannath almost like thieves. Finally, all Jagannath's servants submitted to the goddess of fortune with folded hands, assuring her that they would bring Jagannath before her the very next day. Being thus pacified, goddess of fortune returned to her apartment. "Just see, my goddess of fortune is opulence beyond all description." So, Srivas Thakur said to Swarup Damodar, "O Swarup, your gopis are engaged in boiling milk and churning yogurt. That's all they do. But my mistress, the goddess of fortune, sits on a throne made of jewels and gems." So Mahaprabhu then told Srivas Thakur, "My dear Srivas, your nature is exactly like that of Narada Muni. Supreme Personality of God's opulence is having a direct influence upon you. That's why I'm speaking these things." Swarup Damodar is a pure devotee of Vrindavan. He does not know what opulence is, for he is simply absorbed in pure devotional service. And Swarup Damodar retorted, "Dear Srivas, please hear me with attention. You have forgotten the transcendental opulence of Vrindavan. You don't know what opulence in there, in every speck of dust. One speck of dust of Vrindavan is higher in opulence than millions and millions of palaces of Dwaraka. Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead, full of all opulences, and his complete opulence is exhibited only in Vrindavan Dham, really. Although those opulences are fully covered with Madhurya sweetness. Like they are compared to a piece of straw, which is in the boiling milk. Everything is boiling in Madhurya, in sweetness. And this opulence is okay, but they're there. But even that, how to say, in amount, they're much, much higher than in Dwaraka. Vrindavan is a natural forest of desire trees and creepers, and the inhabitants do not want anything but the fruits and flowers of those desire trees. But every tree is a desire tree. You can touch any tree and get all of your desires fulfilled. So the water in Vrindavan is nectar, and the Brahmajyoti effulgence, which is full of transcendental bliss, is directly perceived there in its form. The gopis there also goddesses of fortune. Yes. Lakshmi Sahasra Satasambhrama Sevyamana. The thousands of Lakshmis are serving Krishna there, so they're also envisioned as such, as Lakshmis, but actually they are much higher in qualification. See, Lakshmi cannot follow them, cannot follow. So in Vrindavan, Lord Krishna is always playing his transcendental flute, which is his dear companion. Yes. And then the quotation from Brahma Samhita goes, Shriya Kanta Kanta Parama Purusha Kalpa Taravo Dramabhumischintamani Gunamayi Tvemamritam Katham Janam Katham Ganam Natyam Katham Ganam Natyam Pamshi Priya Saki Chidanandam Jyoti Paramapita Dasvadimapi Cha. So every step, every song is a dance, every word is a song, and every step is a dance. The trees are all wish-fulfilling trees, and the land is made of transcendental touchstone. The water is all nectar. The talking is singing. The walking is dancing. The constant companion of Krishna is his flute. Priyasaki, his dear friend. The effulgence of transcendental bliss is experienced everywhere. Therefore, Vrindavan Dham is the only relishable abode. When we say only, we don't really humiliate the other abodes. We can read, for example, oh, the best representative of such and such generation of the Vaishnavas, best, but there are many bests. Vaikuntha is also good, and Dwaraka is good, and Mathura is good, but not for Gaudiya Vaishnavas. Not for the followers of Mahaprabhu, such as Swarup Damodar and others. Srivas is also a follower of Mahaprabhu, he's Narada. In his house in Navadvip, Mahaprabhu was dancing and singing without stopping 21 hours every night. They went 21 hours. For 3 hours he was stopping and he was performing his duties. But anyway, his mood is a bit different. So today we're hearing about the competition of moods here. And the mood of Vrindavan is always victorious. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had these discussions about the pure transcendental mellow of Srimati Radharani. Absorbed in transcendental ecstasy, the Lord began to dance, the highest manifestation of ecstasy. When Mahaprabhu was dancing in ecstatic love and Swarup Damodar was singing, the Lord said, Kaho, Kaho, go on singing, go on singing. Then the Lord extended his own ears. Thus, Mahaprabhu's ecstatic love was awakened by hearing the songs of Vrindavan. In this way, he inundated Purushottam Jagannath Puri with love of Godhead. Finally, the goddess of fortune returned to her apartment. In due course of time, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was dancing. Afternoon arrived. After much singing, all 4 Sankirtan parties grew fatigued, but Mahaprabhu's ecstatic love increased twofold. He was not able to stop, really. While dancing, absorbed in Radharani's ecstatic love, Mahaprabhu appeared in her very form. They could see Radharani before their eyes. Seeing this form in distant place, Nityananda Prabhu offered prayers. Seeing the ecstatic love of Mahaprabhu, Nityananda did not approach, but remained a little distance away because he's Balaram. The first expansion, so he came from the right side of Krishna, rather than he came from left side, so the opposite. So he stayed bound by etiquette some distance. Some people say, oh, Krishna Balaram deities, they stand right next to Radha Lalit Madhav, but no, there is distance. Actually, they have a separate altar, Krishna Balaram, on the first floor up there. But for convenience, they stand a bit. But still, there is distance. Only Nityananda Prabhu could catch Mahaprabhu's lotus feet, but the ecstatic mood of the Lord would not stop. at the same time, Kirtan could not be continued. Swarup Damodar then informed the Lord that all the devotees were fatigued. Seeing this situation, Mahaprabhu came to his external senses. Okay, then he entered the flower garden with all devotees, then resting there for some time, he took his afternoon bath. And then huge varieties of prasadam arrived there. The Lord took prasad with all of his sources. So, dear friends, today we had very, very wonderful discussion. Very, very unforgettable, and that's the center point actually of all Ratha-yatra. So, great Rasika Vaishnavas are immersed in tasting those feelings, and I'm feeling simultaneously very fortunate and unfortunate. Very, very fortunate because I could come to these topics, but unfortunate because I cannot relish really. But anyway, everything is ahead. Don't give up. Just continue by hearing and discussing. I'm feeling very obliged, and unfortunately it's our last class here in Chandrika Kunj this time. And what to do? There will be 3 more classes in England this time. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Friday, Saturday will be in London, Central London, Camden Town, and Sunday in Bushey, near Watford. So, cordially inviting you. I cannot really repay my debt to Chandrika Kunjan residents. I seem probably one of them so much obliged, really. What to say? You're like in Krishna Balaram, you know. What to say? Like, how can you repay Didi and Maharaj cannot? So those who are purely representing, you cannot really repay also. So that's it. Feeling very much unworthy. But anyway, we're supporting each other with discussions of Harikathas. We're very happy to have had all of you. And it's not finished. We can meet for 3 more days. I'll be here and we'll be working, doing something. There are no scheduled programs, but you can come. We're waiting for you on Wednesday. And can have lunch together, discuss something. So, Sri Hera-pancami Mahamahotsava ki jai, Sri Vakresvara Pandit Prabhu Tirabhap Mahotsava ki jai, Parama Radhitam Gurupad Padma ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Bol. So soon we'll have Arati if you have some questions now. Welcome, otherwise at Prasadam in more informal atmosphere. But if you want to benefit our hearers also online, then you can ask something for the benefit also.
I don't know if you said, but I didn't catch the third type of the heroines, the mixed one, where it's sober and restless.
Yeah.
Because you gave example of the sober, gingerbread, and restless Radhika, but who is a good example of the mixed one?
Well, actually, there are some subtypes, and general characteristic that they're joking, and they're sometimes restless, and sometimes they are outspoken. I mean, sometimes they're restless, and sometimes they're sober. So generally, there are 4 groups. There are Swapaksha Vipaksha. Swapaksha is Srimati Radhika's group. Vipaksha is Chandravali's group. Suhrit and Tatastha. Suhrit are those gopis who are neutral but closer to Radhika's group, and Tatastha are those gopis who are neutral but closer to Chandravali's. Huh? Like Bhadra, Swapaksha, Suhrit and Tatastha. Yeah, so we can see that specially, because we have to see literature in order to be free from possible mistakes. So that's Jaiva Dharma, basically. Bhakti Rasam Sindhu Bindu. You can see so the classification with the names, and also Radha Krishna Ganadesha Deepika. But thing is that they all come from Srimati Radhika. That's the main point today. Right. Okay. Thank you so much. Dandavat Pranam. Hare Krishna. See you soon.